Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Wayman. I'm the Vice President of Public Relations for the Rotterdam Toastmasters, and I'm here today to have a conversation with Mohamed Hegazi. Mohamed has been a member of our club, Rotterdam Toastmasters, since 2019, and he's an accomplished competition-winning speaker.
Thank you. Jeremy.
So Mohamed, Toastmasters, what was your first experience and what was your intention when you joined Toastmasters?
All right, thank you for the question, Jeremy. There was a nice story behind how I joined Toastmasters. I had been living in Rotterdam for 10 months, and I met this Egyptian guy who was new to Rotterdam, so I was showing him around, and one day he told me that he was going to show me something. And I was like, hey, you're going to show me something? I've been living here for 10 months now. I know everything about the city. And you're a newbie, you're going to show me something. And well, he showed me. I first joined Sprekershaven in Rotterdam.
Right.
And then later I joined Rotterdam Toastmasters. So he took me to one of those club meetings of Sprekershaven. And I really liked it. I was in awe, like, wow, people come around and practice public speaking and give feedback to one another. I was really satisfied with this idea.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the reason I wanted to join this community and be part of it, to
Great.
be there and practice public speaking.
And do you remember your first speech still? How did that go?
Yeah, I definitely remember the first speech. When I first joined Sprekershaven, was one of the clubs within Toastmasters. I wanted to give a speech, but I was told I would have to wait, I think, two or 3 weeks to be able to give my first speech there. And at the same time, I heard that there was a spot that was available in another club. I think it was in The Hague, one of the clubs in The Hague. So I gave my first speech at a different club than the club I was a member of.
Right.
And I think it was about happiness.
Okay.
And I got some information and then I presented it to the club. That was my first speech in 2019.
And I hear you've done a lot of speeches, more than 100 speeches these days at over 10 different Toastmasters clubs. That's quite an impressive resume.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So I've got some questions. The first one another one I'm going to kick off with is, how has Toastmasters impacted your confidence and communication skills?
Oh, wow. Toastmasters has had a great impact on me in terms of confidence and communication skills. Because when you practice speaking for an audience, you see, the nerves don't go away. You will always be nervous when you're speaking in front of a big audience. The thing is, you learn how to control your emotions. You learn how to be there in that moment. This is what Toastmasters has taught me. And you also learn how to communicate effectively in terms of structure. How can you structure your talk? Sometimes when you talk, you can be all over the place, talking about different things at one time. But when you practice public speaking and you have a limited time to say something specific, you learn how to structure your words to be impactful in terms of structure, but also in terms of communication. How can you communicate within a certain amount of time? How can you share a story of something that has happened? So it has had a great impact on me. Very happy with the journey so far.
And have you had any aha moments during your Toastmasters journey? Something that was special that stuck out for you?
Sure. One of the aha moments was when I learned, or when I came across an idea, and that is when you make it more personal. When you talk about a personal experience, it doesn't matter if you're talking about something technical. If you can relate it to something you have experienced, in that case it's more like a story, it's different, it hits different. Because it's unique, it's your story. You cannot find that information in books. And especially if it's relevant to the topic you're talking about. So, well, I mean, if you're giving a technical presentation and then all of a sudden you give a story and the story is not even relevant, or it has very little relevance to what you're talking about, then obviously that's not so great. But if you could tell a story that's relevant, it hits differently. And this was for me a big aha moment. I was like, okay, I should learn to tell more stories in my presentations, and it made it easier for the audience to follow what I'm saying, but for me also because it's a story you've experienced, and it's not that easy to forget what has happened. It's easy. If you fall, you can still improvise and okay, what happened, and you can think of the situation and follow on from there. So that was the biggest aha moment, I would have to say. Yeah.
Great, thanks for sharing that. I'd like to talk a little bit about your competition history. So I understand you've reached the district level of competition, and for those of you that don't know, we have a club level, an area level, a division level, and a district level. 3 times now you've reached the district level with competition. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it, thank you.
And very recently, on the 10th of May this year, 2025, you won the Dutch-speaking district level prepared speech competition. So congratulations to you for that.
Thank you.
And maybe you can tell us a bit about how that was, how it is to compete, and how it was to win the Dutch speaking competition with only 7 years as a Dutch speaker. How is that for you?
Oh, it feels so great. It felt very satisfying, and I'm very happy with the experience. You see, practicing at clubs is not always easy because you have a lot of nerves. You might be a bit nervous, but at competitions it's different. It hits different. The nerves are different. It grows. It helps you grow as a public speaker when you join those competitions, because you know there's a timer. If you go above the time limit, you would be disqualified. There are people and they're evaluating you, not for the sake of just giving you feedback. Some of them will, but because they want to place you, you're first or second or third, or it hits different, and it's a very great opportunity for you to grow as a public speaker. So I was very, very happy with the idea of competing every year. So I think from the very first year that I joined Toastmasters that I started competing back in 2019, and it's a great opportunity for you to grow.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
What advice would you give someone that's hesitant and considering joining Toastmasters?
It depends what your goals are, but if you want to be a better presenter, I think Toastmasters is the best community for that, because what you do is you join people who are interested in personal development, specifically presenting. You've also got, of course, leadership and organization activities, but specifically presentations, and you practice presenting. I think presenting is one of the skills that you improve when you practice it day in, day out in front of an audience. And the thing is, you also get feedback from the club members that you practice the speech at, and then you apply those feedback and then tell the speech once more, and this is how you grow. So I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to do this, and then every year you get a chance to compete with other clubs, and you can, as you said, reach area, division, or district, and for the English speech you can also become a world champion, which is great. So if you're hesitant but you're interested in public speaking, I would say don't be hesitant, because it's a great opportunity to improve your public speaking skills. You can go to workshops and you can learn 1 or 2 things about public speaking, but the thing is, if you do a workshop and you don't follow on that, you don't practice what you've learned at the workshop, then you wouldn't be able to grow, because it's not just about you getting some tips that you need to apply. You would also need to apply those tips and actually day in, day out practice, and this is what Toastmasters offers people.
Right, and also with the Dutch as well, you have to keep practicing and practicing to get that Dutch to the level you want it to be able to win the speech.
Sure, sure.
So I think in all respects you're becoming an inspiration, or are an inspiration for us as members of the club.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And how do you prepare for a speech? Can you tell us a little bit about your secret on how you became a successful prize-winning speaker?
Oh, it's not just about me. I've even written a post about it on LinkedIn. You ask for help and you tell the speech at different venues to different people and see their reactions and then seek for feedback from them. So you would have to be open for feedback. And one of the things I did was, after winning the division contest, is, for example, calling a very experienced speaker that we have within our community, Diesel da Silva. And I asked him if he could help me, and he generously offered a place where I can come and practice the speech in front of him. And I invited other people like Kimtin, of course, from our club, and Marco, he was a member of Sprekers and Ernesto, also a member of Sprekers, and they came and they gave me feedback, and it was great. So I applied this feedback to perfect my speech. Now, how do I prepare the speech itself? As I said, I try to tell a story within the speech, and if you tell a story, the events are logical for you. This is what happened, and of course you try to couple it to a message you want to tell at the end of the speech. And it's just practice. Once you've said it once, recorded yourself, and then written down what you've said, and then see the flow of the speech, and then work on it, get feedback, then apply it, and then eventually you practice telling it many times. And then at some point it will be part of you. You will have said it many times that it's easy to reiterate what you've practiced.
Great, thank you. Thanks for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you.
Maybe you can tell us where you think Toastmasters is going in the future. How is Toastmasters evolving as an organization? What do you think of Toastmasters?
I think the future for Toastmasters or for presenting is very bright. In my opinion, I don't know, but because as you see, there's a lot of advancements in AI, so a lot of the work that humans do is being replaced. However, communication, empathy, skills like that are very important. And I think a lot of people, in my eyes, are still not aware of how important presenting is. To them, it's just something that we do. However, in my opinion, and according to what I have seen, it's a skill that you can evolve, that you can perfect, that you can make better. And you do this by practicing. And if you want to practice it, you would need a safe space where you could do that. And Toastmasters offers this. So I think with the time, more people will be aware of the importance of learning how to present, because it's a skill that you can learn, that you can practice and make better. And when people are more aware of that, and with time, if it becomes more important to be able to present information and communicate information, or present difficult ideas to an audience that is not relevant with those ideas in a simple way, then I think Toastmasters would have a very bright future.
Great. Okay. Well, is there any last words or last thoughts that you want to share with the viewing public, the express you have about Toastmasters or public speaking?
Just go for it. Practice. Don't wait till you're ready for it, because there's no time where you're ready for it. The perfect time is now. If you're interested in public speaking and improving your presentations, then go for it and join Toastmasters.
Great. So this has been myself, Jeremy Wayman, Mohamed Hegazi, talking about Toastmasters. Thank you. Bye.